Did you know that the way that a state national removes consent from the corrupt government is through the Freedom of Information Act? Did you know that? Yeah, we use the Freedom of Information Act to remove consent from the corruption. So the things that we disagree with government doing that is corrupt against we the people, we state it because they admit it in the Freedom of Information Act. And that is how you legally remove your consent. We state it in a legal document and we inform the government of it. By doing this, we're able to reestablish ourselves back to the Republic. This is our right to self-determination. Many people have different ways of doing this. This was the legal way, lawful way that we found to do it. The republics have always existed, but they're only as strong as the people. So when asked if we were still a monarchy by Elizabeth Willing Powell's question, Benjamin Franklin told her that we are a republic if we can keep it. But what that means is a republic relies on the individual to know their rights. Must know them, must stand united to defend them. Whenever the people, populace, mass majority loses knowledge of the rights, they can be removed. A constitutional republic relies on its people knowing their rights. So do you know your rights? If you don't, how could you establish yourself using legal documents back to the republic? And if you don't know your rights, then that would mean that you're state-owned and controlled property. You don't even know it. Pledged at birth to pay the national debt in the form of taxes. Because the American people lost their constitutional right, the constitutional currency, Federal Reserve came in, started to print monopoly money, fake money. Lawful constitutional money has to be backed by gold or silver. It has to be. It's in your constitution, yours. Right here, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. It must be made out of gold and silver. It says it right here in clear as day. Yet you don't have gold and silver backed currency. You have fake monopoly money. People think the Federal Reserve right here is part of government. It is separate. It's been given government powers, but it is private. It doesn't even answer to the president. It is above the president. Whatever they say goes. Nobody knows this. Even the chairman of the Fed has admitted it. Whatever we say goes. Check it out. So this is Alan Greenspan, chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank from 1987 to 2006. So he knows what he's talking about. Check this out.
What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that...
Say what? He said they cannot overrule an action that the Federal Reserve takes. This is because they're an independent agency. I wonder what other independent agencies are out there. Do you? I don't know. Let's have a look. Here's some independent agencies of our government, meaning they're outside the authority. Unless Congress requests something from them, nobody's going to answer to them. They're independent. Oh, look, there's the CIA. No big deal. They don't need oversight. And the EPA. Well, they're doing all the oversight. They're making sure everything's chemical free and good for you. Federal Reserve. Social Security, of course. What about some of the proposed agencies? Like this Weather Modification Operations and Research Board proposed by K. Bailey Hutchison to promote the research into weather modification. Sorry, Kate Bailey, they've already been doing the research, and we the people, we the research, getting sprayed like damn bugs. So do you really need it, or is it already happening? I don't know, are my eyes deceiving me? Either way, back to the Federal Reserve. This one's pretty cool. Check this out. No, they have legalese. Yeah, it's like for attorneys. It says complex legal terms explained simply, but actually...
A former chairman of the Federal Reserve, Alan Greenspan, explaining Greenspeak.
So what, you come up with Greenspeak?
Otherwise known as Fed speak.
What is it?
It's a language of purposeful obfuscation to avoid certain questions coming up which you know you can't answer, and saying, I will not answer, or basically no comment is in fact an answer. So you end up with when, say, a congressman asks you a question and you don't want to say no comment or I won't answer or something like that. So I proceed with 4 or 5 sentences which get increasingly obscure. The congressman thinks I am.
See, and I'm sure most attorneys don't realize why legalese would be so important. Why they would take clear and plain language and make it obscure for the average American to figure out. They just don't know. It may start off as something where you think you're like in a club or you're just, I don't know, whatever you think. It's just a part of being a lawyer. And then they take something and they use it against all of us. That's what always happens. So I'm not like against the attorneys. I'm against the system. It's compartmentalize the information that pins us against each other so that we all do things that creates an environment where we're just taxed to Bolivia.
We printed $6 trillion in 2020, right, in the U.S. Average annual U.S. salary is $60,000, roughly. That's 100 million years stolen, right, through the counterfeiting of currency. If each human works from the age of 20 to 70, so that's about 50 productive years per human, the counterfeiting of $6 trillion USD equals the stealing of 2 million human lives worth of productive labor, right? This is
How did they do this? Or how did they do this? Is very simple. Inflation is a direct cause and a direct result of the Federal Reserve printing your money. Most people believe that this is the United States currency, but it's actually not. The United States currency was backed by gold and silver. It is a constitutional right of the American people to have their currency backed by gold and silver. This does two things. It protects against inflation, so you won't have your grocery bill doubling and tripling in 2 and 4 years, like we see videos right now. Number two, gold and silver backed currency, there's no national debt because nobody realizes. Because the Federal Reserve prints the currency, they charge an interest rate to the American people just for printing it. And this interest rate is called usury. And usury is the direct cause of all the inflation that you're seeing right now. Usury caused that. And usury is also responsible for the entire national debt. All that because of fake monopoly money. The Federal Reserve is so brazen that they don't even give a damn anymore. They're literally telling you, look, the 1's white, the 5 is red, the 10 is yellow, the 20 is green, and the 50 is blue. This is literally monopoly money, and nobody knows. Because if it were real constitutionally based money, it would follow the Constitution, which is the American people's right. In the Constitution, your right is supposed to be gold and silver-backed currency. It says it right here. If you look this up, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. It says it has to be gold and silver, tender in payment. Only. The right has been removed way back since 1913. All politicians are involved. They're all not this stupid. As a matter of fact, the games that they play are directly to keep the Federal Reserve going so that you stay entertained and you don't realize stuff like this. But the truth is, under a constitutional republic, we must restore our constitutional money or we will always be enslaved.
DM Red Pill.